All right, there's no chance we're listening to that song 2 times in a row. Welcome, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Welcome to a new, fresh day of gameplay streams for all of you guys here. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020, and I welcome all of you to the stream. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're in a good mood, and I hope you're ready for some gaming fun. I know I am. So, what's going on? What is up, everybody? Good stuff today. I'm looking forward to the streams for sure. The gameplay. First of all, Daymare continuing, which, as I've said, the more I play it, the more the game kind of grows on me. It's got this really cheesy, B-movie vibe with its bad voice acting and pretty ridiculous plot. Some cheesy scares, and subpar production values. But at the same time, it's probably turning out to be like a guilty pleasure of mine. You know how you play a game that you know is not great, but for some reason you just kind of grin and get some cheesy satisfaction out of it? It's kind of what I'm getting out of Daymare, all right? And we've been playing it for about 7 hours now, which is funny because that's longer. Well, I would say that's about on par with how long Resident Evil 3 is. Although in my Resident Evil 3 run, it took me longer. It took me about 3 streams to beat Resident Evil 3 Remastered. And from reports, Daymare is anywhere from 8 hours if you know what you're doing to about maybe 12 hours long if you don't, which obviously I don't. It's my first run through it. So chances are I'll probably be playing this today and then probably one more session to wrap it up. We're in the midst of Chapter 3, which just started, and apparently the game has 5 chapters. So we'll see what happens today. I'm excited. I survival horror, first of all, is always good to break stuff up. And I am actually enjoying myself with the game. Surprisingly enough, I'm enjoying myself with this game. So I hope that you guys are ready for some cheesy B-movie survival horror action here on the first stream. Later tonight, we got a nice chill stream with Animal Crossing, which is always nice. And, yesterday was not a chill stream kind of day. We had Banjo-Tooie, which was full of action, and then we had Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, which I decided to play on Hardened, which caused me to get my butt pounded constantly for 2 hours. Like, Hardened is way tougher than the standard difficulty in that game. I was like, oh my god, I infinitely spawning enemies on the rooftops of only like the third or fourth stage in the game. It's like, damn, they really ramped up the difficulty of this game, considering usually when I play the campaigns of Call of Duty games, you could pretty much cruise through them. And yeah, I'll die every once in a while, but it's not that big of a deal. But damn, I got stuck in this game last night. And there's really no one to blame but myself. I chose the harder difficulty, but I had no clue that simply just putting it up one notch was going to basically make the game like twice as difficult. So it'll be interesting to see how long it's going to take me to actually beat it this time. Because, I don't know. I thought I would beat it in 2 streams. It's not looking too likely considering how far I got last night. Okay? But that was just basically, a full day of, like, action and stress. And today, will there be action and stress in Daymare? Yeah, it's survival horror. But I think tonight with Animal Crossing, we'll be able to unwind a little bit, unplug a little bit, relax, have some relaxing interactive fun on Paw Print Island, and just have a good time together. So that should be fun. Okay, coming up tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to go back to Banjo-Tooie. We're in World 7 of 8. Excuse me, World 8 of 9. And this is the Sky World where everything's just like a floating island. And it's a pretty neat world, in my opinion. It may actually turn out to be my favorite world of the whole game so far. We're solving all these puzzles. We're having fun. We just unlocked the ability to turn into a bee with Wumba's magic. And we got a lot to do. So we'll see how far we can get in that tomorrow. By the way, we are reaching the end of Banjo-Tooie. We're in World 8 of 9. There's only 9 worlds. And, of course, I'm going to have to backtrack a little bit once I have all the abilities to unlock, the final Jiggies, the final Jinjos, the final things I couldn't get the first time around when I was playing through the stages. But I would guess maybe 2 more streams, if not 3, but probably 2, and we may be able to wrap up Banjo-Tooie. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be longer, but I'm thinking, we're getting there. which is good. I've been playing it for a couple weeks now. Variety is good to get on to new stuff, which new stuff will be coming shortly, which we'll talk about in just a moment here, okay? Friday night's going to be throwback Street Fighter stuff, old school throwback Street Fighter, like I do once a week. Saturday, Daymare 1998, again, it's the probable conclusion, because we'll see how far we get today. If I can beat all of Chapter 3 and get into Chapter 4 today, then, quite frankly, we'll probably wrap this up on Saturday. We'll see. And then Saturday night, my weekly Morrowind chill stream, where Elder Scrolls 3, we have a lot of fun doing questing and the like. Last week, we did some fun stuff, more fun stuff with the Thieves Guild, and we're actually doing quests for the Thieves Guild in a different town now, in the town of Balmora. So continue on with that. And then on Sunday is up in the air. And the reason I say that is I'm not sure what I want to do Sunday. If we are close to the end of Banjo-Tooie, then chances are I'm going to want to try to finish Banjo-Tooie, so that way it doesn't end up being a lingering unfinished playthrough. So probably I'll do more of that if it seems like we can finish it. Or I can start up Fire Emblem Three Houses, the next viewer's choice playthrough, which is going to be a major playthrough I'm sure we're going to be doing for quite a long time. So we'll see what I want to do on Sunday. I'm undecided. Sunday night's going to be more Animal Crossing. And then on Monday, it's going to be our major Minecraft stream of the week, which is going to be the early stream, not the late stream. And then Monday night will be more Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. See how far we can get. I doubt we're beating it, but see how far we can get to end my continuous streaming week. All right. Now, the other important thing about this weekend is that we are continuing on with the Vest streak. We've hit 90 straight streams where we've hit the Vest streak. Insane. And, do we keep this going all weekend long through Monday? That means, as of Monday night, we will have hit a 100 Vest streak. Okay, that's pretty insane. And if we do that, that means the special 100 Vest streak celebration will be happening on Wednesday of next week. What does that entail? Well, first of all, the stream's going to be way more just chill and interactive and hanging out and talking rather than focused on gameplay. If you guys want to see some gameplay, like if you want to see me do a little bit of Street Fighter, you want to see me maybe do some Modern Warfare Warzone, just for variety's sake, I would just do some throwaway stuff, but it's not going to be a stream that's majorly focused on too much. It's going to be more about kind of talking and reminiscing and celebrating your support, and just having a good time, having a generally good vibe. What I'd like is maybe have a lot of open discussions about various topics and just kind of hang out. But in addition to that, it's going to be the return of DSP Tries It. We're live on the stream. I'll be ordering food, and it's going to be delivered, and I'm going to do a live DSP Tries It. I may even have more than that lined up. We'll see. It depends on how things go, but I may actually do more than one. We've also got something that I ordered specifically for this stream that I hope arrives in time. I don't know if it's going to. I don't think there's any guarantees right now with what's going on with the worldwide pandemic about delivery times for things you order on the internet, but I did order something special for the stream. Also, people have asked, can Jasper return for this stream? And the answer is yes. So make a special circumstance. I know I almost never have him on the streams these days, and especially for daytime streams, but I'll basically bring him in the office, play with him a little bit, have him be on stream so you guys can see him. Among other things, it should just be a positive celebration. A nice positive daytime stream of fun, focused on talking and hanging out, rather than focused on, say, oh, we have to do gameplay today and we have to make progress or anything like that. It's the opposite. I'd rather just kind of relax with you guys and just chill and talk and have a good time, rather than focus in on having to do major progress in a game or anything like that. All right. And so next week, all right, we're going to have a balance of content between finishing up Banjo-Tooie if I haven't yet. We're going to have the premiere of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, which is the major DLC expansion for the game, including several hours of new story, tons of new characters that are going to be unlocked. I believe there's supposed to be new crypt content, although I really don't know the realistic amount of content that would be in there. I have no idea. But basically a lot of new content in Mortal Kombat 11 we'll be checking out for the first time in a long time. All right. And Fire Emblem Three Houses will be premiering. All right, and continuing on with all the other stuff that we're doing too. Obviously, I'm going to finish up Modern Warfare 2 Remastered and all of that. So it should be a good week of a balance of new content and, you know, the ongoing playthroughs concluding. Now, there's another game that comes out next week too. It's called Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm on the fence about this one at this point. All right, I really am on the fence about this one, and here's why I'm on the fence. Some people are interested just because they like my Minecraft playthrough. They're like, you know, we really like Minecraft. Your Minecraft playthrough the last year and a half has been really fun. It would be cool to see you do more content in a Minecraft context. But from what I'm to understand, this game really isn't Minecraft. It almost plays like a mobile game, the way that it's designed. And now, the more that I'm looking into it and hearing about it, the less I'm really liking about it. I'm kind of worried it's going to end up being more of a grindy, not very fun game that ends up having like, almost like required microtransactions, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to feel like a full-fledged console game. It seems like it's not what they were going for with this game. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. That's just the vibe I'm getting from the initial research I'm doing. Keep in mind, I haven't played it or anything yet. All right. But that's kind of what I'm getting. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is maybe this is a bad idea. I'll buy the game, play it once or twice, and be like, oh man, this is just boring grinding. And then it ends up being something I don't really want to do long term, in which case that's a waste of money. So what I may do is I think I'm going to focus this coming week on finishing Banjo-Tooie, starting up the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. And we'll focus in on that stuff. We'll give the Minecraft Dungeons game some time to release and see if it's any good. And if people really like it, then maybe I play it. But I'm going to be apprehensive about it and stand back and not really jump on it yet, okay? Now, there's another game coming out I had never heard of until this week. Apparently it comes out tomorrow. It's called Man-Eater. I guess in this game you control a shark and you eat humans. Sounds pretty fucking gruesome. And it certainly was not on my radar at all. I didn't really care about it, but it seems like there's going to be there's a media blitz for this game, because now I'm seeing like ads for it all over social media. And I'm like, dude, like 2 days ago, this game didn't exist or wasn't in anyone's scope of anything they were going to play. And now all of a sudden, everyone on the internet is talking about it. Sounds to me like a paid PR campaign. I'm just saying, it certainly sounds to me like someone is greasing the wheel, if you know what I mean. But again, that's a game that if people play it over this weekend and enjoy it and are like, man, Phil, this is a unique gameplay experience, something you should definitely play, I'm open to checking it out. But I'm not going to rush into a game I never heard of until all of a sudden people start advertising it. It's kind of like, I don't think so, dude. So I guess we'll see. All right? We'll see. We shall see what happens. You guys let me know. If any of you happen to play Man-Eater, by all means, let me know about the game and let me know what you think. And if it's something that I should check out. Same thing next week, again, with Minecraft Dungeons, since I'm going to be holding off from playing it at launch. By all means, if you play it, let me know what you think. And you think it'll be something good for my streams or not, okay? The month of June should be interesting. We've got a few releases. In early June, we got Beyond Blue, which is that undersea simulator game I had told you guys about that I was interested in playing. A couple months ago, I had talked about this and said that I was, I'm interested in playing it, and then apparently got delayed, so it didn't come out in April like it was supposed to. That's a possibility. It's not a guarantee. It's just a possibility of something I may play. And then in mid to late June, of course, is where the big releases. We got Last of Us 2, and we got the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom remake. So 2 big releases there in June. Plus, of course, June will be an interesting month because there's supposed to be a lot of digital events and game news coming out over the course of the month, which could prove pretty interesting, since there's no E3 this year, to be like, watching, covering, talking about, etc. So we'll see what happens over the course of June, if I cover any of that stuff or I just talk about it casually on my streams or whatever. And we'll go from there. All right. And of course, there's many possibilities of many games that I can play. Continuing on with things like the Mega Man Zero collection, going back to classics like on the Genesis or the SNES, maybe doing some more Super Mario Maker 2 stuff. Suture H4, which I never got to. You know, there's just a lot of stuff going on in general that I could cover easily on the streams to do some fun variety of content in the month of June. So it should be a good month. July's going to be nuts, though. July's going to have at least 4 major releases that I'm covering, which is never happens. But that's what happens when you have a worldwide pandemic. A monkey wrench gets thrown into everyone's lives, and the next thing you know, it's kind of like the world's on its head, right? It really is. It's kind of like everything's flipped upside down. Pretty nuts. All right. So that's the deal with the schedule and everything going on, guys. FYI, we have a subscriber goal going on this month. 725 subs. We're currently at 655. So we've made a lot of headway in the last few days. And thank you to anyone who either subscribed or gifted a subscription in the last few days, because we have jumped significantly from where we just were a couple days ago. With roughly a week and a half left in this month. All right. We have some time to see if we can hit the goal. If we hit 725 subs by the end of the month, I'm going to be doing a retrospective marathon event. This is when you guys get to nominate your favorite moments from my now almost 12-year legacy as a content creator on the internet. We sit down, we watch them back together, I react, we have fun conversation, and in general, it's just a fun reminiscing session that has proven to be some of the best content I put out in the past several years. In fact, the last retrospective event was the spawning and dawning of the vest streak. It was you guys who asked me to find and put on the vest. It was you guys who then demanded I put on the vest as a reward when we hit the tip skull. And that's how this whole thing started. Okay? So, what else could we create with a retrospective event? I have absolutely no idea. But I definitely want to do it. I love doing those events. They're really chill and fun. So, if you're not a subscriber to the channel yet, please consider subscribing to the channel and getting many benefits, including over 30 emotes that you'll be able to use on Twitch, not having to watch advertisements when I take ad breaks, and getting a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a sub. Okay? From what I understand, Twitch very shortly is going to add new features for subscribers who subscribe at the higher tier levels. If you guys aren't aware, there's actually 3 tiers of sub you can do. Tier 1, which is the standard, and that's like $5 a month. And then there's like a tier 2 that I think is $10 a month, and a tier 3 that's like $25 a month. Now, in reality, the major benefit is that it's more expensive and it gives me more support. So, you know, you're doing a higher tier, you know you're supporting the streamer more. Now, I do have exclusive emotes for those higher tier levels, but they're not super special or anything. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal to get access to those emotes. From what I'm going to understand, Twitch is now going to be doing something new where they're going to actually have more benefits for people who are top or higher tier subscribers. I'm not 100% clear. I read an email and I was like, I don't really 100% understand what they're saying. I get the feeling when it launches, I'll have more transparency on that. But just throwing that out there. But anyway, yeah, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like the content and you want to help hit the subscriber goal so we could do a fun retrospective event probably sometime in June. I would think what we would do is over the course of June, you guys would nominate your favorite stuff, and then probably by the end of the month is when we would schedule the marathon. Okay? All right. So the only other major thing that I really want to talk about, all right, what I really want to talk about is just kind of update a little bit of an addendum on what I talked about on stream yesterday. Okay? So yesterday on pre-stream, I talked about the drama content creators on YouTube. And I talked about how at this point, it seems like YouTube is completely blowing up because everyone is on each other's throats. Every one of these people who every day they say, oh, this is the news and I'm going to cover these topics, but it's not. What it is drama. They get into other people's personal shit for personal benefit. You know, this is what they do. They think they're content creators. In reality, they're just shit stirrers. They're people who benefit every day by creating toxicity and essentially hurting other people every single day of their lives. And they get off, or they get by. They make money doing this. Some of these people are rich and have giant homes and giant sponsorships and all this kind of stuff because they do this toxic content every day. And I talked about it yesterday and basically said I completely disagree with this. This is something that I very rarely have ever dabbled in my 12 years being on YouTube. Very shortly in 2016, I think I made a few videos of this style, and then I quit and said I didn't want to do it anymore. And it's something that I hate. If of all the content that you find on YouTube, there's really two bottom of the barrel things in my opinion. And the first is the stupid prank videos, the videos where people are acting over the top, you know, the Logan Pauls. You know what I mean? It's the garbage content creators who have absolutely nothing to add to anyone's life. Instead, they just make garbage content that's completely unsafe, stupid, you know, going to a suicide forest in Japan and making jokes in front of hanging dead bodies. You know what I mean? No one's going to defend that kind of content. And that's bottom of the barrel. All right? But, you know, then you're talking about these next guys would be the drama creators. These guys are the ones that I just don't understand how this exists. I don't understand how YouTube thought there was value in this content. All you got to do is watch a single one of these videos to see it's drama. All it is drama stirred up for the sake of profit, right? And recently, the reason this is blown up is because now everyone's attacking Keemstar, saying that he's a real scumbag because of the things he's done over the years. And it's like, for me, it's like, well, anyone who does this drama content is guilty of it. YouTube is guilty of it because they promoted this kind of content for years and relied on these people to become popular. You know, some of these people have millions upon millions of subs and views on this kind of shit, you know. But anyway, the only reason I'm bringing it up again is because now, of course, this is exactly what I knew would happen, right? So you had everyone kind of turning on Keemstar, piling on him, saying that he's the villain and he's the bad guy. And then Keemstar, of course, yesterday defended himself, made a video and said, I'm not responsible for anyone who committed suicide and the stuff that I did over the years. That's preposterous. And in reality, the people who are accusing me are hypocrites, and here's evidence of that. And basically showing that, you know, some of the people that accused him, like H3H3, have done exactly the same thing he's done, just like him, and then he's a hypocrite for trying to call him out and basically, like, insult him, right? And so, you know, you see all this crap, and you're just like, you shake your head, and you're like, I can't believe it exists. I can't believe people watched this crap to begin with, but they did. You know, this is, again, there's three parties who are guilty in a situation like this, with YouTube being so just brought down into the toxic cesspools of existence. The first is, obviously, the people who made the drama content to begin with. They're guilty. They, on a daily basis, made this content to bring down others and didn't care about who they hurt in this content and basically did it to make money and to get themselves over. All right? And like I said, this is something that I never wanted to be a part of. There's very few times over the years, even though I am guilty of it. I said this yesterday. I'm very guilty of it. I've done it myself. I very rarely let myself get pulled into that fucking vortex. I just say, you know, if someone brings me up in their content, and therefore I have a need to address it in my content, I'll do so. But very rarely would I go out of my way to talk about this, you know, on a stream or in a video, because I just don't want to get involved in it, right? I just ignore it and I just do my positive thing. That's, you know, and the funny thing is I'm here after almost 12 years now. I'm still here, and I never had to sink to that level. You know what I mean? And I pride myself on that. I told you guys yesterday, I can sleep easy knowing, at least with the content I put out, I never really concretely hurt anyone. I never directly, you know, ruined anyone's life or did anything like that just to get over and to make popularity and money for myself, right? Or at least if I did, and I sincerely mean this, I apologize to anyone who feels that I wronged them or I hurt them over the years because of things that I did, because that was never my intention, nor did I ever want to be one of these kind of attack comedians or anything like that. To me, I just wanted to play games and have fun with it, and that's all I ever cared about, okay? But anyway, it's funny how in one day, Keemstar makes a video, oh, this is my response, see, look, everyone's a hypocrite. This guy in particular, H3H3, is a hypocrite because he does the same thing I do. And it's funny because you're watching, I'm like, well, that doesn't necessarily, that's not really a defense. You know, a defense would be, oh, everything that you said about me is wrong, and here's proof that it's wrong. But it's not. He didn't do that. Instead, he basically just said, well, you see, you're a hypocrite because you did it. It's like, wait a minute. So, okay, the pot called the kettle black, but you're still guilty. You know what I mean? Like, you still did it. There's no, you can't defend yourself against years of systematic abuse against people and making a living doing it. You know what I mean? And again, it baffles me that YouTube allowed it and YouTube promoted it, right? But anyway, I think the real development now about this is that Keemstar actually lost his major sponsor, G Fuel. I guess this is one of his big sponsors or one of his major sponsors. And he said that he walked away from them. But I don't know about that. You know, like, it might have been a mutual thing. It might have been G Fuel's like, this is crazy negative press for us. We can't deal with it anymore. And they dropped him. Or it could be that he agreed to walk away. I mean, who knows, right? It's kind of, the way I see it, it's kind of the situation that I had with Machinima. Okay? So here's what happened with me and Machinima. Basically, my channel was being destroyed. Ad revenue was in the toilet. And this was my main source of income at the time. And I told Machinima, my partner company, what's going on? I need info. Well, they dragged me along for almost a month and gave me no info. And I was like, well, listen, you're ignoring me. You're telling me to wait. Like, I'm supposed to just sit here and make no money. I can't pay my fucking bills. You got to give me an answer. And if you can't give me an answer, be honest with me and be transparent. And they weren't. Machinima was just basically dragging me along and not telling me anything and not caring, to the point where I went, instead of just using the regular log system to get an answer on this situation, I went around that and I tried to contact the head of the partnership division, who I had had many amicable interactions with. And in the past, I was told I could easily talk to this guy in any case where there's an issue. I go to do that and basically find out the guy didn't work for Machinima anymore, and no one told anyone that he didn't work for Machinima anymore. So essentially, I had no contacts in the company, and no one ever told me that. And then I got basically chastised, got my hand slapped, and was told, how dare you try to go around our standard communication method of doing a log system, to try to get information about this, because we told you we're looking into it, and therefore don't ever do this ever again. Basically, they treated me like a child, yelling at me and telling me, oh, how dare you try to get help. So I'm with a partnership company who takes a cut of my income, okay? The reason they take a cut of my income is because they're supposed to help me with issues like this. For a month, they don't help me with issues like this, right? And then finally I say, all right, I'm going to take matters in my own hands and try to talk to someone else I know in the company. And then I get yelled at and treated like a child, all right? So I told Machinima, listen, it's this simple. If this is how you're going to treat me, I don't want to be with you anymore. So please give me an answer on this situation immediately, or else, basically that's it. I don't want to be with you anymore. And then Machinima said, okay, well, we're going to terminate your contract then. So technically, Machinima ended the partnership after I told them end the partnership. Now, is that me walking away? Not really. Is that them firing me? Not really. It was kind of a both sides saying, I guess at this point, there's no more amicable agreement. So we're just ending it, right? And that's kind of how I think probably what happened here with Keemstar. There was so much negativity associated with this guy over the last day because of his actions over the years, right? That G Fuel probably contacted him and was like, this is too much. This is nuts. What can you do to stop it? And he's like, what can I do? I can't stop it. This is who I am. This is the content I create. This is who I am and what I've done over the years. You guys, you would have thought, and here's what gets me about this, right? You would have thought anyone who sponsors a content creator like that would be smart enough to know what that entails and know what you're sponsoring. You know what I mean? Like, is Keemstar to blame for G Fuel all of a sudden changing their mind about him? No. He made that content forever. You know what I mean? So why would they all of a sudden drop him now because public opinion's flipped on him? But he didn't change. He's not all of a sudden making different content that's worse. That's what he always did. And G Fuel was okay with it as long as the gravy train rolled in and as long as they made sponsorship money on it. But now all of a sudden, Keemstar's in a negative light. Oh, let's drop Keemstar, right? That's fucked up in my opinion. That's really, that's very two-faced of a company to do that. And I basically think that this whole situation is exposing a major problem with the toxicity of YouTube and content creators and sponsorships, is that it's, as I've told you guys many times over the years, it's the Wild West, right? Like, anything goes until someone gets hurt. And then when someone gets hurt, now we got to go back and look at our last 10 years of shit that we did and say, oh, maybe that wasn't okay, and now we need to change our attitudes, right? And that's kind of like exactly what I think is, it was fine for these people to make all this toxic content for 10 years. You know, these people who, Keemstar's been all doing this for a long time. He's not someone who just came out of nowhere. This guy has been doing this for a very, very long time. And for me, it's like, it's established, it exists. Obviously, YouTube's okay with it, right? So I'll be honest, like, I'm shocked to hear that Keemstar loses a sponsor as a result of this. Like, that kind of makes me feel like G Fuel's like a dirty company. You know what I mean? Like, oh, as long as we didn't care what anyone did, what content they put out, as long as we're making money, we're fine. Oh, wait, there's total negativity associated with someone now, and that we're being bombarded on social media negatively. Well, let's drop this guy. You want to know why this actually irks me and why I'm talking about this morning? I'll tell you why. Because this is exactly what happens to me. You know? The difference here is, all right, between me and Keemstar, is that the stuff that people say about me is overly, insanely over-exaggerated to the point where it's not true. You know? And I cannot get a sponsorship at all because of this is what happens. You know, a couple years ago, here I am on Twitch, and they launched the sponsored streams program where you can play a game, and, as long as you announce it as a sponsored stream, they view that as advertisement for their game, and you get paid some bonus money for playing a game. And I play 2 different games, and during those streams, I'm, playing them honestly, giving you my honest reactions or whatever. Hell, one of them was the middle of a playthrough that was a legit playthrough I was already doing that hadn't been sponsored. But I said, hey, I'm in the middle of the playthrough. It's a no-brainer. Why not take the opportunity to do this sponsored stream? And just because I'm playing the game sponsored and getting some extra money, and I had to publicly announce that, my trolls and haters go over to these companies, bombard them on their social media with complete slander and defamation and lies about me, saying he's a pedophile, he's a scammer, he's a thief, he's this, he's that. All bullshit, right? But they get away with it, and these companies contact Twitch and tell Twitch behind the scenes, listen, not to say that we believe any of this or we could do anything about this, but, these people attacked us and made us basically not be able to even use our social media for like 2 days when Phil played our game. And, so we have to say we don't want Phil in this program anymore because this is probably going to happen with every company, right? You see what I mean? So that's bullshit. Me losing sponsorship opportunities. I can't do a sponsor. Everyone else on Twitch can do a sponsored stream but me. I'm literally the one person who's been blacklisted from sponsored streams, not because of anything I actually did, but because of trolling, right? So that's bullshit. And at least what I can say is this, at least I was never someone who was reliant on sponsorships, right? Like, I've had a couple over the years, very minor sponsorships. Very minor. Nothing major at all. And every once in a while, I get another one. And it's cool when I get them, and they're very quick and fleeting, and then they go away. I don't have any long-term relationships with any company because of this disgusting group of people who follow me around the internet and ruin all those opportunities for me by spreading slander and defamation about me that's wrong. And I guess that's the major difference between me and Keemstar is, the people who are spamming G Fuel and saying, drop this guy, are actually just showing his content. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, he's a scammer and he does this and that and just basically slandering him. It's, well, here's something he did to someone and probably mentally fucked them up, and, this guy is not alive anymore. This could have contributed to this guy's death, the stuff that this guy said and did about this guy on the internet and had no self-awareness of what he was doing and didn't really give a shit. just wanted to fucking get himself over, right? So the thing is, I could see different perspectives for sure, and by no means am I defending Keemstar whatsoever at all. That's ridiculous. No way would I do that. But at the same time, I see how fucked up it can be that, oh, it's okay for him to get all these sponsors and everything, and every sponsor knew exactly what he was doing and was okay with it. And now all of a sudden, other YouTubers attack him. He's seen in a negative light for it's not even the first time. It's just basically the first time that other major YouTubers have gone after him like this, I guess. And now all of a sudden he's dropped, right? So I don't know. And the funny thing is, again, you'll never know the true story because Keemstar says he walked away. Yeah, he walked away from money. Sure, he did. I really, that's kind of like Ninja. Oh, I walked away from Twitch. I walked away from all that money I was making on Twitch just because I don't like some of the practices of Twitch. That's why I'm going to Mixer. Right. I will believe that the day when dinosaurs come off of Mars and land and start, they tell us that vegan life is the way to go. That's when I'll believe that. So, yeah. Anyway. The whole thing's just ridiculous right now. And I'm just so glad that I'm an outside observer. That I'm not involved in it. I'm not ingrained in it. I could just casually talk about it on pre-stream like this. And as you noted, I'm not doing a fucking hype-ass, stupid video to talk about it. I'm just relaxing with you guys. And having a good time on streams with games. And I could talk a little bit about this on a pre-stream rather than have to, I used to be that guy. Oh my God, everything on YouTube, right? I had to make the big drama. Oh my God, did you hear this new news? We got to do a vlog about it. Now I could just be like, nah, just relax. Oh, I'm not defending, but I literally just said I'm not defending Keemstar. We got some guy going nuts in the stream chat saying I'm defending Keemstar. When did that happen? When did I defend him? Never. King Tiger, when did I defend him? Right? What are you talking about? I don't know. Anyway, for me, this is just a stupid thing that's exposed the whole toxic system of YouTube. This guy's the villain. No, this guy's the villain. No, this guy's the villain. You ever see the meme? The meme online, it's Spider-Man pointing at identical Spider-Man, right? And they're basically saying, it's him. Oh, it's him. Same thing. It's basically everyone who's toxic on YouTube at this point is like pointing at each other and saying, you're the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. It's like, actually, you're all the bad guy. Like, your entire toxic drama community was always the bad guy. You never put out a single piece of meaningful content in the years and years that you guys put this crap out. Never once have you put out meaningful content. All you do is create fluff that's toxic and that hurts others so you can make money. That's fucked up. And yesterday I talked a little bit about Review Tech USA. And I said, this guy seems to be the drama creator that talks about me all the time. For a guy like him, I hope a situation like this is kind of eye-opening. Here's what I mean by that. Someone like Rich, I actually feel deep down Rich is not a bad guy. I don't think that at all. I think Rich is a guy that over the years, he wanted to be a content creator who did tech reviews. And sadly, it just didn't fly on YouTube. And so he said, well, here's the content that does succeed on YouTube. So I need to start doing it. Okay? And so he started making that kind of content. And then he found himself sucked into that vortex, the drama vortex, where every day he has to put out a new drama video, a new spin. There's days when he talks about me specifically, just me. And I'm like, but Rich, we have no relationship. I'm not your friend. We don't have any kind of interactions, right? Why would you bring me up? What really, I'll be honest, what really irked me was years ago when he started making videos about how my YouTube channels were dying and all of this. And I'm like, let's just for a moment, right? Let's say that was true. Do you really think that making videos like that helps? No. What that does is it hurts. It actually makes people think negative, toxic things about a content creator who apparently you don't hate. So why would you make that content? And the answer is because you want to make money. You have nothing to talk about that day. You want to make that drama content to make money, you know? And that pissed me off, you know? And that's the thing about Rich is I think that he's actually someone who could not be a toxic content creator. He's someone who could actually review tech, play games, have a positive community. But what happened was he fell into the vortex of the kind of shit that Keemstar does, H3H3 does, and a lot of other people do, and said, oh, it's profitable if I do this, right? It's profitable if I make the drama content. It's profitable if I blow up people's lives and their personal shit, you know. And, same thing with, I'll say this with this lawyer guy, Nick Recchietta. If that's how you say his name, I have no idea how you say his name, right? I don't feel that Nick is a bad guy. I don't think that. And I don't think that for the 4 months that he was trying to publicly cover my bankruptcy proceedings, that he was trying to be malicious. I actually don't believe that. I actually believe that he's someone who, again, got sucked into the vortex of, oh, this is the kind of content that brings in the views. So if I have a show where I talk about Phil's bankruptcy filing publicly, and I say that as a lawyer, I can give more perspective to this, I'll get attention for myself. Oh, look, that really blew up. So now let's have a hours-long podcast with people who hate Phil so they can just shit on him constantly and make jokes at his expense to make him look bad. And that's what I mean. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope where the further you dive down into this toilet of shit, the more stuck you get in the doo-doo. You know what I mean? And that's why I won't do it. That's why I'm not gonna come out here and talk about people's personal fucking lives and stuff. I'm not gonna be a toxic content creator. I want to just have fun with games. And I hope you guys understand that. The past couple of days have been so weird that like now people are talking about this kind of content creation and saying, oh, it's bad. It's like, oh, no shit. I've been the victim of it for, at this point, probably 5 straight years. I would say 7, but the first 2 years were just about my gameplay, which honestly I don't give a fuck about anymore. Back then I did. Who cares about this is how you don't play, right? But as soon as it went to my personal life, my slandering me and stuff about it, you know what I mean? Like, that's when it got terrible for me. That's when, it was constant harassment and slander. It was shutting down opportunities left and right for me. Why is Phil in such a terrible financial situation? Well, because I could never get a sponsorship. Because I could never take those opportunities that other content creators could. I never got my fair share of any of that. Despite the fact that I had popularity, I had reach, I had views, I had all the following that people would require to have those opportunities, and I never got them because of the toxic people who always ruined it for me. You see? But no one wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about, oh, Phil did this on stream and Phil did that on stream. And of course I did. But everyone else did too. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes on streams. Everyone makes mistakes in their content. Everyone's a flawed human. But no one gets hammered and microanalyzed and has the amount of slander and defamation happen to them for minor little normal things like I do. You see? I never got the fair shake like everyone else. And because of that, why do you think things got worse and worse and worse for me over the years? Is it because of my bad financial decisions? Yes, absolutely. That's why I was in the terrible situation that I got myself into. But at the same time, every time there was a positive or an opportunity that maybe this could help me and get me out of it, it was taken away from me because of the people who systematically harassed me online and tried to ruin my life so they could get popularity for themselves. That's how I know that this kind of drama and toxic content is not productive, should never have been allowed on YouTube. Okay? So, and it's funny because you see a group of people, different people right now in the stream chat talking. And you see some people who are like, we just want gameplay. Fine, we're going to get to gameplay soon. Don't worry about it. That's coming. We're going to have a fun gameplay stream here today. It's fully expected. It's what's going to happen. Um, you know, and that's fine. Then you got people who say, "Oh, Phil's full of shit. We don't want to hear this." Yeah, you want to know who says that? People who've been guilty of it all along. The people who are here on my streams just because what they like to do is wait for that moment of weakness or silliness or for me to make a mistake so they can blow it up with drama. Those are the people who don't want to hear this because they don't want to actually believe that their actions directly have consequences that hurt people, right? They want to believe that you can just make fun of whatever you can. You can say and do whatever you want on the internet. There's no repercussions and no one's hurt and everything's fine and everything's fucking rainbows and and unicorns and shit. It's not. You know, those are the people who. That's why they say, "Oh, Phil, stop talking about this," right? Because you don't want to look in the mirror. Instead, you just want to have it keep going on with your happy horse shit every day. And you know, this week has been kind of an eye-opening opportunity for me to kind of vent a little bit about the situation and say, you know, this has been my life. I've been the person targeted by these kind of people for years and years. I've been the butt of everyone's joke. I've been the one who's always he's the worst example of a content creator. But why? Can you actually give me legitimate rationalization of something that I maybe have done that's so horrible that other people haven't? No, you can't. But still, I'm the guy who's he's the lowest on the totem pole. You would never want to be Phil, right? It's fucked up. And it's just kind of messed up. I mean, honestly, you know, it does. It makes me feel like shit that I worked so hard and I know, you know, people say, do you get jealous of other content creators? Of course I am. You know, I told you, sometimes I sit down and I watch playthroughs with my wife. And recently I've been watching like from software playthroughs among some first-person shooters and RPGs. And you watch these people play these games, right? And having fun, genuinely, like I do. And pretty much doing nothing very different from what I do. There's a few that I've watched that don't have a webcam, that only make 15 to 20 minute long parts, that have sponsorships that they're constantly pushing. Things that you guys always complain to me about. Phil, if you want to be modernized, you got to have a webcam. You got to have longer parts, and you can't just constantly be advertised. You know, all these things that I changed and I phased out of my content because you guys told me I needed to do it to become better. These people do, you know, they have all that stuff, and they're insanely popular. They have a positive viewer base. They have people who love them. They have sponsorships. And I'm like, where did it all go wrong for me that I can't have that stuff? And really, the answer is because of the toxic people. The toxic people who follow me around. You know? That's why. And it frustrates me that this week the whole thing blows up on YouTube. The toxic content drama creators are bad, and here's why. No shit. I could have told you that day one. I could have fucking told you that day one. But how people didn't realize that until this week, I have no idea. You know? And again, I just want you to understand, okay, that I 100% acknowledge that I've made tons of mistakes over the years, and that's one of the major reasons I'm in the situation I'm in. Please understand that. I'm not infallible. It's not, everyone makes the thing, what is it? I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. That's not my attitude, at least not anymore. You know, when I first started on YouTube, it was. I thought my shit didn't stink, but I know I make mistakes all the time, you know. But all I would love is a fair shake, and I don't get it, you know. And why? Because of toxic content creators. That's why. Because people like Keemstar made this content popular, and everyone jumped on the bandwagon, including people like Rich, who really didn't make that content in the past, and then decided that this was his way to make a living on YouTube, was to delve into that realm of content. And there's people who legitimately, I feel, were good people and got sucked into this nasty, toxic, negative vortex of content on YouTube. And if anyone would just look in the mirror and say, all right, maybe I should do positive stuff today instead of this negative stuff, things would be better. But, you know, how do you do that when people are now entirely making their living doing the negative stuff, right? I don't know. That's just my perspective. And you can completely disagree with me, and that's okay. And anyone who I name dropped in this video, I'm not trying to insult any of you. In fact, if anything, like I'm saying, I think Rich and Nick are not bad guys at all. I actually, if you look, they have legitimate, positive stuff that they could add to internet culture. They just get sucked into the negative shit because that's what gets them the views and the drama and the money, you know? And that sucks. I hope you guys understand that. This is not attacking. This is just me venting a little bit about my own perspective, my own frustrations about myself as a content creator and what I've been through over the last 12 years. That, you know, today I can put out fun gameplay streams and interact with you guys and have a good time, and you guys are supportive, and it's great. But it certainly wasn't easy getting to this point, and there's still that toxic element behind the scenes that constantly latches onto me, and I know it. I know they're there. I know they don't go away. They're just sitting in the wings waiting for me right now to say and do something completely erroneous or considered not PC to try to get me canceled, to try to insult, you know what I mean? Just what's the next saga of Phil? They talk about it every day. What's the next saga that Phil will be involved in? The next drama saga? How about none? How about I never wanted to be in a saga? How about I just want to fucking play games and have fun? I don't want to be involved with your dumb shit. You know, I never wanted to. I never wanted to be involved in that crap. You pulled me in. You know, the YouTube toxic community pulled me into that shit by coming onto my streams with your negative memes and derailing all your shit and the negative toxic stuff you say about me that's not true. That's where the saga comes from. You know, not because I created it. You did. You made the saga for your own personal, you know, enjoyment and benefit. Not me. I don't want that shit. I never wanted that shit. I just wanted to sit here and play games and enjoy myself. Period. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I want to do. I wish we could go back to 10 years ago when it was just me playing games and enjoying them and not having drama every day. I don't want that, you know? But we're never going to get to that point. This is where the culture's gone. This is what's happened with 10 years of me putting public shit on the internet, and now people, you know, use that every day against me, right? So, that's just me venting a little bit, guys. All right? Sorry. Yeah, I just felt like talking about it. By the way, again, just like yesterday, I'm not going to do any formal pre-stream advertisement here. We're just going to skip right to the end segment of the pre-stream, which is, you know, the shout-outs. Because I took time to talk about this. And, you know, thanks for listening. You know, some of you actually right now are being very nice and saying, you know, thanks for being honest. We appreciate that. And then, like I said, the people who don't want to look in the mirror are saying, don't do that. How dare you talk about this? We don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous because these are the people who want to propagate that, but as soon as I call it out, they don't want to hear about it, right? Because, again, they don't want to be self-aware. They want to get away with it, but they don't want to be self-aware about it, right? And that's fine. You know, there's always going to be people who are going to be on my streams who are of that. They want to wait for the rage moment. They want to make fun of me. I'm not going to say go away. I'm not going to ban you. But at the same time, understand it's my stream and I have the right to talk publicly about stuff if I want to. If you don't like it, tough shit. You know, like, I have no contract with you that I'm required to fucking start playing games immediately when I start launching the stream. You know? Like this guy who just tipped me. Play the game. Stop talking about drama for hours and play the game. Shut the fuck up. It's my stream. I can just sit here. If I want to sit here and fart into the mic for fucking 4 hours, I'll fart into the mic. And either you like it or you don't. But it's my stream and I have the ability to talk about what I want to talk about. You know? If you don't like it, fuck off. That's I don't know what else to say. I have the right to vent and I have the right to defend myself and talk about my perspective at any point. You know? Just be happy that I did it before I started playing the game. Because I could have... And this is the other thing that people complain about. Well, Phil takes too long to get through his pre-stream and start the game. Alright, I could have booted Daymare and just did what I just did in Daymare and never played the game. And which would have been extra frustrating because here's supposed to be gameplay. And instead we're sitting at a screen while I talk, right? So, you know, you can't have it both ways. So, just relax, okay? Fucking relax. Anyway, I'm glad. I'm actually happy I've talked about that. It makes me feel a little bit better to kind of vent. Now, 2 days, you know, yesterday I was more talking about the whole situation on YouTube, but today giving a little bit more of my perspective. Makes me feel a little bit better about the whole situation, you know? So, anyway, Apologies to anyone who wasn't interested at all. Although I get the feeling most people who are here on pre-stream like this kind of discussion. A lot of people tell me they're only here for this, and then they leave when the gameplay starts because they're not interested in the games I'm playing. So there you go. All right, so I'm not doing any formal advertisement segment. I'll just say, guys, as you know, right now we're trying to hit the tips goal today. We're trying to roll it on, continue on, and hit 91 today. So if you tip me today, that helps me the most because I can use those funds for important things right away, and will help hit the vest goal and keep it going so we can do that 100 vest celebration next week. So please today, if you like the content, contribute. If you can, it's not mandatory, it's not required, it's not expected that you would. It's okay if you don't, but if you can contribute, please do. And the best way of contributing is by tipping me so we can continue the vest streak. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Let's get the shout outs. Vinny Kitty subscribed to the channel for 4 months and says, Phil, thanks for an incredible 4 months. Please keep up your chill streams. I shall. Thank you very much, Vinny Kitty, for 4 months of support. It's good to hear that you've been enjoying them. A load of huge kabasi tipped me $1 and says, I'm glad you've called out hypocritical parties like H3H3 because cancel culture has been so toxic. It needs to be exposed for what it is. You're one of the few not engaging in cancel crap and even helping your detractors with the fake DMCA stuff. Yeah, because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm not about cancel culture. I'm not about, gotta jump on the Hama. I went to say the drama hype train, and I said Hama. Gotta jump on the drama hype train, for views or whatever. And of course, now people will say, but what about Pro Jared last year, right? What about when Phil really gave it to him? Actually, I didn't. Last year, I made 2 tweets about Pro Jared. The first was actually calling him out for his tweet several years prior where he had made fun of me on Twitter unsolicited. I had never said a negative thing about the guy ever, and he made a nasty tweet about me on Twitter. So all I did was quote his nasty tweet about me from years earlier and then said, gee, it's funny because, years ago you made this tweet about me, but today the entire internet's talking negatively about you. Oops. Quoting him, saying oops about me, years earlier. That wasn't talking specifically about anything about him. That was just me basically calling him out for being toxic to me years before. And then I made another tweet and said, if you're going to fail on the internet, fail for your content, not for your character. I didn't even address him at all. At all. Right? So, that's the funny thing that people say, oh, Phil, you really got over on the whole Pro Jared scandal last year. And, he's since proven that he's innocent of all accusations. And you never really apologized to him or whatever. I never insulted him either. Like, of all the people who came out and said stuff about him, I was the least insulting in reality. I quoted his insulting tweet and only basically joked and said, yeah, well, now the joke's on you today. So kind of, karma coming back to bite you. And then I made a very general statement saying, if you're going to fail on the internet, fail because you don't make good content, which is not the case with Pro Jared. He makes good content, but he basically became the laughingstock of the internet because of stuff in his private life, which is not good, And that's all I said. I never attacked the guy. I never personally made insults about him at all. In reality, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even know fully what he was accused of. I have no idea. I actually have no clue at all. I really don't know. I wasn't involved in that whole situation. I don't know what he did or anything, So I can't even speak to that. I was just in general giving, a few generalities about my perspective of the thing, considering the guy had insulted me years earlier for no reason, So, anyway, that's the thing. Like, if I see something that's going on that's wrong, I'll speak out about it. The DMCA thing on Twitter was completely fucked up. Now, in reality, I didn't even know that it was on YouTube too. I thought it was just on Twitter. I thought that people were only being affected on Twitter, and then later on it came out that it was actually people getting their YouTube channels stricken down and stuff too, which is complete bullshit. I 1,000,000% disagree with that because it happened to me. So, I don't care if you're a detractor or you're my biggest fan. Injustice is injustice, and I'm going to stand up against that no matter what. And thankfully, it sounds to me like everything got overturned, at least for the most part, because I spoke up, so that's a good thing. and then I move on, right? I'm not going to dwell on that, but that's the kind of guy I am. I'm not one of these people that, oh, look, just because you were nasty to me, I'm now going to be nasty back to you, you know? Nose Vacuum Cheer, 50 bits, says, would you switch to Mixer for a $100 million contract? Well, let me think about this. $100 million, meaning I would never have to worry about money again in my life, right? Pay off any existing debts that I have. I could probably pay off all my parents' debts. I could probably donate an insane amount of money to charity and help people all around the world. Yeah, I'd probably do it. I'm just saying. If you were to tell me that if like $100 million, yeah, I would probably move to Mixer. Of course, I'm sure there would be all kinds of criteria and attachments to that. Like you have to stream for a certain amount of time there and do this and that. Yeah, I would probably do it. I'm not stupid. Nitpicking and bias cheer. He said, can we do some positivity and give a shout out to the mod team for consistently holding it down? Yeah, you know, the mod team on this channel don't have an easy job, guys. The mod team on this channel do not have an easy job at all. They've got to, number one, the mods are fans. In general, they want to watch me play games and have fun just like you guys. But a lot of the times that experience is monstrously hindered by the negativity and toxicity of the people who come in here and try to troll, right? And the mods have a very tough job of determining how far you go, how much control do you actually issue over the stream chat, how much do you let ride before you put your foot down, you know, is a meme acceptable, is a meme not acceptable, to what extent, you know, it's tough. And we all work together, you know, to try to establish criteria to make it more transparent, but it's tough to do because on a daily basis, who knows what's going to happen on a stream like this? Who's going to come into the stream and say something or do something? You know, I don't know. It's an ever evolving thing. You know what I mean? I don't envy them, but at the same time, I'm grateful for what they do. I hope they know that. Last night, we had a very challenging stream with Modern Warfare 2 where I'm playing a very difficult game because I'm playing on hardened. It's much harder than what I'm used to when I'm playing first-person shooters. And we got people coming in here trying to purposely derail the stream to make it so that I can't advance, that I fail, to try to insult me and bring up drama stuff that's not really happening, but they're trying to spin it that way to distract me. Again, the usual shit they try to do so that I can't basically have fun with the game. And, you know, the mods had a hard time trying to figure out how to handle that, and I don't blame them. I'm not angry, but, you know, we got a lot of complaints. People saying, you know, we're positive viewers of yours, and we're trying to have a good time, and we can't because you got people being toxic in the stream chat. What happened? Where were the moderators? They were here. They were trying to do their job. It's not easy, guys. You got to understand that, okay? So I certainly hope that you guys understand that and know that, and you wouldn't hold it against any of the mod staff because the stream ain't perfect. You know, I give them a lot of credit for wanting to put up with the toxic bullshit that happens on the internet on a daily basis, and in particular in this stream on a daily basis, you know? All right. So, play the game. This is what I had addressed. Play the game. Did a $4.20 tip and said, if you don't like drama, stop talking about drama for hours and 2 days in a row and actually play the games. That's right, because, you know, guys, I have no right to actually, like, talk about stuff on my stream. That's my stream. It's not allowed, you know. I have to let this one particular viewer dictate what I say and do on my streams. Even if there's something that's, like, bothering me or nagging at me and I feel like it's pertinent to what I do as a content creator, and maybe I could talk a little bit publicly about it and do some good. I'm not allowed to do that because this guy wants to see Daymare right now, right? Fair enough, you know. Okay, continuing on. Pimp My Shed Plays did a 200-bit cheer and says, you think you'll ever stream Remnant from the Ashes? Remnant from the Ashes. It kind of rings a bell, but is that the game that was kind of like Soulsborne but with guns? Is that what that was? I think it was. I think this was the game that came out last fall, and it was very similar, like Dark Souls gameplay, but with the guns instead of, oh my god. I can't even fit the leaderboard, guys. This is crazy. Well, someone's got to shrink. Someone's name's got to shrink here. Oh, you know what? All right, there's a tip coming up that's bigger. That's a shorter name. So, all right, we'll fix this in a second. Anyway, yeah, the game really wasn't on my radar. If that's the game I'm thinking of, I didn't really care. At that time, there were like 4 Soulsborne style games that all came out at once. And I'll be honest with you guys, at this point, the whole Soulsborne formula is kind of played out. You know what I mean? Like, every other company now is trying to make one of these games. And at this point, it's like, do I really want to play them? No. If there's a From Software one that comes out, like Sekiro, or their new one, Elden Ring, I'll check those out. I'm not going to check out every little one from every fucking studio who wants to jump on the bandwagon. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to, you know? It's kind of like, you can wait and you can drink real Coke, or you can drink, you know, brand X cola. Which would you drink? I'll wait a little bit and I'll get that delicious, refreshing, full-flavored, full-body flavor of real Coke instead of drinking, you know, the watered-down piss cola right here, right? You know what I mean? So I'll just wait. No, I'm not really interested in Remnant. If that is the game, if it's not the game, then I'm completely off base, and I apologize. Red Spider-Man did a 50-bit cheer. He says, I hear you, man. I want you to say, please keep persevering, no matter how many bad people are out there. There are good people who genuinely care, and they actually give a shit about you and your content. Keep your head up. Life's too short to dwell on past mistakes. It's all about what you can control now and how you persevere through your hardships. I completely agree with you. You know, I acknowledge my past mistakes. I know I made a ton. I know I was an idiot. And I like moving on. I want to move on. It's these people who bring that shit back up constantly as their frame of reference of why I'm a bad person, which is ludicrous. You know, a fucking Nazi joke that I made 10 years ago is somehow representative of who I am today. No, it's not. You know, I made about 80,000 videos on YouTube, you know, and maybe 2 of them ever had Nazi jokes in them. So how can you tell me that's representative of who I am, right? But that's what people do to try to push their ridiculous agendas. So, thank you, Red Spider-Man. That was a nice comment. Bugox tipped me $5, and that's the new top tip, which is good, because now I can actually make the leaderboard fit again. Let me get him up on the leaderboard here. Oh, what happened to the B? Bugox. Oops. $5 tip, biggest tip of the day. Thank you, and that gets up to $10 in tips. And he says, you ever think of doing a second run in Sekiro? Siding with Owl instead of fighting him. Well, when I was originally playing Sekiro, I was told that there were 2 different endings to the game, and you would fight different final bosses dependent on your choices. Okay? And I just logically made the choice during the game that I wanted to go against Owl. That didn't seem like what he was doing was right, and that's the choice I made. Apparently, if I had, sided with him, the game would have been different. There would have been different, not different stages per se, but different bosses that you would have had to fight. Okay, and I never saw that because I made the choices that I made. Now, immediately after I had finished my playthrough of Sekiro, I jumped into New Game Plus. I played for 1 hour of New Game Plus, and in reality, in that 1 hour, okay, I basically covered the same ground that took more than 4 hours to cover in my original playthrough because I knew what I was doing. I was much better at the parry system. I understood the mechanics of the tough enemies and the bosses. So I basically steamrolled through it. And people were like, damn, like Phil actually is pretty good at this now. And immediately people were turned off and said, don't play it anymore. And I was like, well, why? I don't understand. Whenever I play From Software games, you guys always ask me to do second runs or whatever. And people outright told me the following. Well, the reason people really enjoy watching you play From Software games is the initial exploration, the initial reactions to the tough parts of the game, to see you fail initially at those tough parts of the game over and over. That's what people get pleasure out of when they watch those kind of playthroughs from you. We don't get pleasure out of watching you succeed. If we want to watch you succeed, we'll go watch you play old school Street Fighter, right? And play and beat up on people for a couple hours. That's different than when you're playing a From Software game. That's the direct answer I got from my viewing audience that day after doing that hour of New Game Plus. And a few times last year, more than a few times actually, I talked to my audience. I said, would you guys be interested of seeing me go back to Sekiro and do a second run where I could, number one, it's New Game Plus, so it's harder, but, see if I can tackle it, more challenging. And yes, doing the alternate choices to see what content I've missed. And every single time I brought it up, people were like, no, 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 So I just always did other stuff. I'm not against going back to Sekiro at some point and playing it again. I enjoyed the game. I didn't love it. I definitely think that the Dark Souls franchise is better. But I would consider, especially now it's been a year I've been away from it, I probably suck at it again. I was by the time I'd beaten it last year, I was doing really good with the parrying. I would probably be absolutely fucking terrible at it again now because I haven't done it in a year. But I've seen no real demand for it. I haven't seen people, requesting it or stepping up and asking for that kind of stuff. Instead, it's kind of the contrary. They want to see other stuff. A lot of the times, they either want to see me do something I never played before, or like a retro game, right, that I never played before, to see my first experience with said retro game, like Banjo-Tooie, right? Or maybe games that have been off my radar, like Fire Emblem. That's another one, I never played a Fire Emblem game. People are saying Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of the best games of last year, and I completely missed out on it. That seems to be the kind of stuff people want to see me do these days. So, okay. Fair enough, you can have that. That's fine. Right? So, Bugox, I'm not against going back to Sekiro. Alright? And doing the alternate run. But it just doesn't seem like there's much demand for it these days. Okay? Richie7, resubscribed for 6 months in a row. Thank you, Richie. I appreciate that. Is this a better username? Cheered and said, I drink neither Coke nor Brand X Coke. I only drink water and alcohol because my body is a hypocritical temple. Okay, then. Captain Charisma tipped me $6.30. That's actually the top tip of the day. Let's get him up on the leaderboard. And it looks like then we'll be wrapping up the pre-stream. Shit. Seconds is up to $16 in tips so far. Thank you, guys. He says, I'm wondering if you have anything planned for July. Don't know if you remember I suggested a game for chill streams. I think you're chilling and speeding at Daytona would be a fun and interactive. Wow, it doesn't fit again. Are you kidding me? Alright, I'm sorry to this pimp of my shed plays. Your name is so long. I'm sorry, I have to abbreviate your name because I can't even fit the leaderboard right now. Okay? So, PMSP. Sorry I had to abbreviate your name. I don't like having to do that, but Jesus, I can't even fit it. Alright? Alright, let's try this again. So Captain Charisma says, anything planned for July? I recommended Daytona for a chill stream. I think you chilling out and speeding at Daytona will be a fun interactive since you can have chat pick your paint schemes, etc. For me, I don't really enjoy sim driving games. I enjoy more arcadey style games. I don't know what you consider Forza Horizons, because I've been playing Forza Horizon the last two of them, and I actually really enjoyed those games because they were more relaxing and chill. But for me, like arcadey style, I'm not into sims. Like Gran Turismo is like the last game I would play. There's no point. I don't care about cars. I don't care about car culture. I don't care about customizing my car. I don't care about any of that shit. I never did. So that's not really my cup of tea. I don't know if Daytona is like that or not. And I rarely play racing games. I'm not saying that racing games are not considered. I'm just saying that, like, it's not my forte. You know what I mean? I thank you for the suggestion. July's going to be busy, though. July has 4 major releases, including Ghost of Tsushima and, oh, God, what's the other big one? There's 4 big games in July. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I really don't want to get up to the desk and go look them up right now. But, yeah, July's going to be packed with 4 new releases. But, by the way, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be looking for chill content. I may be by then, okay? Punch Lasers, cheers. How do you like Daymare 1998 now that you played a bit of it? It's like I said, it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. It's kind of like watching a cheesy B movie that you know has low production value, doesn't have the highest grade acting, but you still enjoy it for what it is, knowing that this game was only made by 10 people, and being that it is some survival horror that's breaking up the other content I'm doing right now, I'm still liking it, okay? So that's why I'm still playing it. All right, a few quick shout-outs. Shout out to the top cheers of the week so far. We've got Big, what does that say? I can't even read it because it scrolled. Big Nuts 420 in 10th place. Red Spider-Man in 9th. VG Stuffed in 8th. Ryan in 7th. Super Flash in 6th. Ninstar Rune in 5th. And tied with Real Ale Craig. So technically that's a tie for 4th. Lice for Soul in 3rd. Noah Taylor in 2nd. And Crabcock 1st place for Cheers this week. Very nice. Also, sub-gifters of the week. Top sub-gifters. We've got Lunaba and Super Batcat, who each gifted a single sub. We've got Big Papa Phil and Ryan, who each gifted 2 subs. Randy O. Butternub, who has gifted 8 subscriptions this week. And Golden Nobles, who gifted out 11 subs. Thank you very much, guys. VG Stuff, cheers. Can we add the Quiet Man to chill streams? No. All right, guys. Let's take a break. Very quick. Maybe like 5 minutes. Going to go use the restroom. And then we're going to come back and start with Daymare. Thank you for being patient. Again, I didn't do any formal advertisement on my pre-stream for 2 days in a row. Because I wanted to talk a little bit differently. Tomorrow we can go back to that. If that's what you really want. Since people are complaining. You know, God forbid I actually talk about something that I feel is interesting or important on my own streams. Anyway, that's it. Let's end the pre-stream. I'll be back in a few. All right, guys? Thanks. See you in a sec.